Okay. No. Thank you, chat.
And we are live.
Thanks, Max. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Niesen, the artistic director of Irondale, and I want to welcome you to our virtual library. Tonight, we're going back to take a look at a piece 4 years ago called 1599, which was based or inspired by a book by James Shapiro, and it's about the four plays that Shakespeare wrote in that one year. We performed them all in one 5+ hour evening. So now we wanted to go back to Shakespeare because what seemed was very important at that time feels like once again it is important, and even more we were able to call on the same six actors who originated these roles 6 years ago. They've all consented to be here tonight. As I was going back into my research work for this little event, I came across something that I'd written for the application for the National Endowment for the Arts. And it says the year 1599 significant period in Shakespeare's development and in English history. In 1599, Shakespeare completed the text of Henry V, wrote Julius Caesar and As You Like It, and finished the first draft of Hamlet. England, much like a contemporary America, waited to see who would succeed an increasingly unpopular aging leader, attempted to crush a foreign rebellion which was rapidly turning into a quagmire, weathered a threat from an expanding superpower, worked to maintain its status as a world economic leader, and suffered through the effects of plague that had but recently ended and would burst through again in a few short years. Um, I wrote that 4 years ago, but it seems to me it has a lot to say and maybe even a lot more to say or something different to say right now. So I have two of our actors, um, Alex Spieth, who's playing Henry, and Terry Greiss, who's not only an actor but the executive director of the company. And I'd like to just turn to the two of you and kind of pick your brains for a second about how have you changed in terms of what the plays mean to you, or how they're speaking to you right now from where they were 4 very short years ago. Alex, you want to lead off here?
Totally. I think it's really interesting to examine this play, which is so about fraternity and battle and being sort of like physical intimacy and having and exploring it through Zoom, which also is a medium embraces intimacy in its own way. So it's interesting to look at it like that. But also, I find it incredibly interesting always to play Henry because I think it's important to see leadership in a variety of ways, voices, genders, races. I think it's incredibly powerful and it feels more so even now than it did 4 years ago to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It reminds me of what Joe Biden said yesterday about quality of leadership and the role of a president, and just what is a leader, which I think really resonates through this play. And as we see Henry mature,
Hmm.
um, Terry, you've been in this again for 6 years, and here at Irondale with me for 37 years. And tell me how's it changed for you?
I think for me, the most exciting thing about doing it again is trying to figure out how we embrace this platform called Zoom and how we do live theater in such a way. Because I never, in my own aesthetic, uh, technology had very little to do with the gathering of people together in one room where you hear and tell good stories. That's what theater is for me. But yet, while we're working on this, I've discovered you can create an intimacy, like Alex was saying, and you can create a sense of community. But the biggest thing that comes out for me in this play is the optimism of the young king, because
Hmm.
I feel like that's something we're
Yeah,
all
I think
keep up with it now, our optimism.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting, as I hope a lot of you out there will join us over the next 3 weeks after this, to see each one of these episodes. Each one's approximately an hour long, and what the sort of super story is that Shakespeare is telling as it goes through, which is not always that happy, and we all know how Hamlet ends. But I think it's a very interesting trip. So let's get it started right now. So without me saying any more, let's go to Henry V, the first leg of 1599.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention, a kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene. And let us, ciphers to this great account, on your imaginary forces work. For 'tis your thoughts that now must deck our kings, carry them here and there, jumping o'er times, turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass. For the which supply admit me chorus to this history. The court of Henry V. Enter the archbishops of Canterbury and Ely.
My lord, I'll tell you. That same bill is urged, which in the 11th year of the last king's reign was like, and had indeed against us passed, but the scambling and unquiet time did push it out of farther question.
But how, my lord, shall we resist it now?
It must be thought on. If it pass against us, we lose the better half of our possession.
This would drink deep.
'Twould drink the cup and all.
But what prevention?
The king is full of grace and fair regard,
And a true lover of the Holy Church.
Courses of his youth promised it not. Since his addiction was to courses vain, his hours filled up with riots, banquets, sports, and never noted him in any study.
But, my good lord, how now for mitigation of this bill urged by the Commons? Does his majesty incline to it, or no?
He seems indifferent, or rather more swaying more upon our part, for I have made an offer to his majesty as touching France.
Where is my gracious lord of Canterbury?
Here, my lord, God and his angels guard your sacred throne and make you long become it.
Sure, we thank you. My learned lord, we pray you to proceed, and justly and religiously unfold, if I with right and conscience make this claim. Therefore take heed how you impawn our person, how you awake our sleeping sword of war. In the name of God we charge you, take heed, for never two such countries did contend without much fall of blood, whose guiltless drops are every one a woe. Under this conjugation, speak, my lord.
Then hear me, gracious sovereign. And you, peers, that owe yourselves, your lives and services to this imperial throne, there is no bar to make against your highness's claim to France. Gracious lords, stand for your own, unwind your bloody flag. Look back into your mighty ancestors. Go, my dread lord, to your great grandsire's tomb, invoke his warlike spirit, and your great uncle's, Edward the Black Prince, who on the French ground played a tragedy, making defeat of the full power of France. Awake remembrance of their valiant dead, and with your puissant arm renew their feats. You are their heir. You sit upon their throne. The blood and courage that renowned them runs in your veins. And my thrice puissant liege is in the very May morn of his youth, ripe for exploits and mighty enterprises.
Your brother kings and monarchs of the earth do all expect that you should rouse yourself, as did the former lions of your blood.
They know your grace hath cause and means and might. So hath your highness. Never king of England had noblers richer and more loyal subjects whose hearts have left their bodies here in England and lie pavilioned on the fields of France.
Let their bodies follow with blood and sword and fire to win your right. Therefore, to France, my liege.
Call in the messengers sent from the Dauphin. Now we are well resolved, and by God's help, and yours, the noble sinews of our power, France being ours, will bend it to our awe, or break it all to pieces. Now we are well prepared to hear the pleasure of our fair cousin Dauphin, for we hear your greeting is from him, not from the king.
May it please your majesty to give us leave freely to render what we have in charge, or shall we sparingly show you far off the Dauphin's meaning?
We are no tyrant, but a Christian king, and therefore with frank and uncurbed plainness, tell us the Dauphin's mind.
Thus, then, in few. Your highness, lately sending into France, did claim some certain dukedoms in the right of your great predecessor, King Edward III. In answer of which claim, the prince, my master, says you savor too much of your youth. Bids you be advised there's not in France that can be with a nimble galliard one. You cannot revel into dukedoms there. He therefore sends you, meeter for your spirit, this ton of treasure, and in lieu of this desires you let the dukedoms that you claim hear no more of you. This the Dauphin speaks.
What treasure, uncle?
Tennis balls, my liege.
Ah, we are glad the Dauphin is so pleasant with us. His present and your pains we thank you for. When we have matched our rackets to these balls, we will in France, by God's grace, play such a set shall strike his father's crown into the hazard. Tell him he hath made a match with such a wrangler that all the courts of France will be disturbed with chases. But tell the Dauphin I will keep my state, be like a king, and show my sail of greatness. And tell the pleasant prince that this mock of his hath changed his balls to gunstones, and his soul shall stand sore charged at the wasteful vengeance that shall fly with it. For this his mock shall mock many 1,000 widows out of their dear husbands, mock mothers from their sons, mock castles down, and some are yet ungotten and unborn that shall have cause to curse the Dauphin's scorn. So get you hence in peace, and tell the Dauphin this jest shall savor but of shallow wit, when thousands more weep than did laugh at it. Convey her with safe conduct.
Well, that was a merry message.
We hope to make the sender blush at it. Therefore, my lords, omit no happy hour which may give furtherance to our expedition, for we have now no thought in us but France. Therefore, let our proportions for these wars be taken, and all things thought upon with reasonable swiftness. Add more feather to our wings, for God before we'll chide this Dauphin at his father's door. Therefore, let every man now task his thought that this fair action may on foot be brought.
The French, advised by good intelligence of this most dreadful preparation, shake in their fear, and with pale policy seek to divert the English purposes. O England, see thy faults, France hath in thee found out. A nest of hollow bosoms which he fills with treacherous crowns, and 3 corrupted men, one Richard, Earl of Cambridge, and the second Henry, Lord Scroop of Masham, and the third Sir Thomas Gray, Knight of Northumberland, have confirmed conspiracy with fearful France, and by their hands this Grace of kings must die ere he take ship for France. The sum is paid. The traitors are agreed. The king is set from London, and the scene is now transported, gentles, to Southampton.
Now sits the wind fair, and we will aboard. My lord of Cambridge, my kind lord of Masham, and you, Sir Knight, give us your thoughts. Do you not think the power that we bear with us shall make us conquerors in the field of France?
Oh, no doubt, my liege, if each man do his best.
We therefore have great cause of thankfulness. Uncle of Exeter, enlarge that man committed yesterday that railed against our person. We consider it was an excess of wine that set him on, and on his more advice we pardon him.
That's mercy, but too much security. Let him be punished, sovereign, lest the example of him breed more of such a kind.
Oh, let us yet be merciful.
So may your highness, and yet punish too.
You show great mercy if you give him life after the taste of much correction.
Alas, your too much love and care of me are heavy orisons against this poor wretch. If little faults proceeding on distemper shall not be winked at, how shall we stretch our eye when capital crimes appear before us? Uncle of Exeter will yet enlarge that man, though Cambridge, Scroop, and Gray, in their dear care and tender preservation of the state, would have him punished. Now, who are French causes? Who are the late commissioners?
I, one, my lord. Your highness bade me ask for it today.
So did you me, my sovereign.
And me, my lord.
Then, Richard, Earl of Cambridge, there is yours. There are yours, Lord Scroop of Masham, and you, Sir Knight, Gray of Northumberland, this same is yours. Read them, and know I know your worthiness. Uncle of Exeter, we will aboard tonight. Why, how now, gentlemen? Why change you color? What have you seen in these papers that have so chased your blood out of appearance?
I do confess my fault, and do submit me to your highness's mercy.
To which we all appeal.
The mercy that was quick in us but late by your own counsel is forestalled and done. You must not dare for shame to ask for mercy. These English monsters! What shall I say to thee, Lord Scroop? Thou cruel, ingrateful, savage, and inhuman creature, thou that didst bear the very key of my counsel, thou that knewest the very secrets of my heart, it is impossible that from thee should proceed one spark that might annoy this finger. It is so strange, though the truth of it doth show as gross as black from white, my eye will scarcely see it. Their faults are open. Arrest them to the answer of the law, and God acquit them of their practices. Hear your sentence. You have conspired with an enemy proclaimed and fixed, and from his golden coffers received the golden earnest of our death. Get you therefore hence, poor, miserable wretches, to your death. And now, lords, for France, the enterprise whereof shall be to you as us like glorious. Cheerly, to the sea, the signs of war advance. No king of England, if not king of France.
The court of France. Thus come the English with full power upon us. You see, the King of England is not slack, for he is footed on this land already.
My most redoubted father, it is meet we arm us against the foe, and meet we all go forth to view the sick and feeble parts of France. And let us do it with no show of fear, no, with no more than if we heard England were busied with a morris dance. For she is so idly kinged, my lord, so guided by a shallow, humorous youth, that fear attends her not.
Peace, Prince Dauphin, you deceive yourself. Question your grace, the late ambassador. With what regard she heard their embassy, how well supplied with noble counselors, and how her resolution answered her.
Think we King Harry strong, and strongly arm prevent the foe?
My lord, here is an ambassador from the King of England.
Bid him come in. You see, this chase is hotly followed, friends.
My gracious father, take up the English short, and let them know of what a monarchy you are the head. Self-love, my liege, is not so vile a sin as self-neglecting.
From our brother, England?
From him, and thus he greets your majesty. He wills you in the name of God Almighty that you divest yourself and lay apart the borrowed glories that by gift of heaven, by law of nature and of nations, longs to him and to his heirs, namely the crown.
Else what follows?
Bloody constraint. For if you hide the crown even in your heart, there will he rake for it. Therefore, in fierce tempest he is coming, in thunder and an earthquake, like a Jove, that if requiring fail, he will compel. This is his claim, his threatening, and my message. Unless, of course, the dolphin be in presence here, to whom expressly I bring greetings too.
For the Dauphin, I stand here for him. What to him from England?
Scorn and defiance, slight regard, contempt. Thus says my king.
I desire nothing but odds with England. To that end, as matching to his youth and vanity, did I present him with those Paris balls.
He'll make your Paris Louvre shake for it. And be assured you'll find a difference between the promise of his greener days and these he masters now.
Tomorrow shall you know our mind at full. Thus, with imagined wing, our swift scene flies in motion of no less celerity than that of thought. Work your thoughts, and therein see a sea. Behold the ordnance on their carriages, with fatal mouths gaping on girded harfleur. Suppose the ambassador from the French comes back, tells Harry that the king doth offer him Catherine his daughter, and with her, to dowry, some petty and unprofitable dukedoms. The offer likes not. And the nimble gunner with linstock now the devilish cannon touches, and down goes all before them.
Once more unto the breach, dear friends! Once more! Close the wall up with our English dead! There's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, conjure up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard favored rage. Then lend the eye a terrible aspect. Set the teeth, stretch the nostril wide, hold hard the breath, and bend up every spirit to his full height. On! On, you noble English! Dishonor not your mothers. Now attest that those whom you call fathers did defend you. Be copy now to men of grosser blood and teach them how to war. And you, good yeomen whose limbs were made in England, show us here the medal of your pasture. Let us swear you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not. For there is not one among you that is so mean and base that hath not a noble luster in his eye. I see you stand like greyhounds in the slip, straining upon the start. The game's afoot. Follow your spirit, and upon this charge cry, God for Harry!
Hooray!
England!
England!
St. George!
St.
George!
Governor,
Your Highness.
how yet resolves the governor of this town? To our best mercy give yourselves, or like men proud to destruction, defy us for our worst. For as I am a soldier, if I begin the battery again, I will not leave the hath achieved Harfleur till in her ashes she lay buried. Therefore take pity of your town and of your people, whiles yet the soldiers are in my command, whiles yet the cool and temperate winds of grace o'erblow the clouds of heady murder, spoil, and villainy. If not, why, in a moment look to see the blind and bloody soldier with foul hand defile the locks of your shrill shrieking daughters, your fathers, taken by their silver beards, their most reverend heads dashed to the walls, your naked infants spitted on pikes, while mad mothers with their howls confused do break the clouds. What say you? Will you yield and this avoid, or guilty in defense be thus destroyed?
Open the gates. Do with us as you will, for we are no longer defensible.
Open your gates. Go you, enter Harfleur and there remain. Fortify it strongly against the French. Use mercy to them all. For us, dear uncle, tonight in Harfleur we shall be your guest. Tomorrow for the march, we are addressed.
'Tis certain he hath passed the river Somme.
Normans, but bastard Normans. Norman bastards.
Where have they this metal? Where is Montjoy, the herald? Speed her hence. Let her greet England with our sharp defiance. Up, princes! And with a spirit of honor edged more sharper than your swords, high to the field, bar Harry England, that sweeps through our land with pinions painted in the blood of Harfleur. Bring him our prisoner.
Ali. Ali. Where Angleterre, tout bien parle le langage. J'ai compris, monseigneur. Il fait que je peux le parler. Comment appelez-vous le main? Et toi?
J'oublie les doigts, mais je souviendrai. Les doigts, je pense qu'ils sont faits.
Le main des mains. Les doigts des fingers.
Oui. Excellent, madame.
Dis-moi d'anglais vitement. Comment appelez-vous les ongles?
The Niles.
Niles. Dites-moi l'anglais pour les bras et les coudes.
Le coup de elbow, madame.
D'elbow. Comment appelez-vous l'école?
Du nick, madame.
Des nick.
Oui.
Et les montants?
Des chines.
Des signes.
Des chines.
Tend, des fingers, des miles.
The nails, madame, nails.
Nails, d'armes, d'elbow, bilbo.
The elbow, madame.
Dans ces dis d'elbow, des nick, des chine. Comment appelez-vous la pied et la robe?
The foot and the coon.
Des foot et des... Oh, Seigneur Dieu! Ils sont mots de ce mauvais corruptible, gros et impudique, non pour les donneurs Joseph. Oh, les foot et des... Néanmoins, j'ai récité une autre fois ma leçon ensemble. Tend, des fingers, des nails, d'armes, d'elbow, des nick, des chines, des foutres et des coudes.
Excellent, madame, excellent.
Allons-nous à dîner?
How now, Captain Fluellen? Come ye from the bridge? Is the Duke of Exeter safe?
Oh, the Duke is, look you, no harm in the world. He keeps the bridge most valiantly. And there is an ancient lieutenant there at the bridge, who I think, in my very conscience, is as valiant a man as Mark Antony. And he is a man of no estimation in the world, but I did see this man do gallant service.
What do you call him?
He's called Ancient Pistol. Oh, here comes the man.
Captain, I thee beseech to do me favors. The Duke of Exeter doth love thee well.
I praise God, and I have merited some love at his hands.
Bardolph, a soldier, firm and sound of heart. Fortune is Bardolph's foe, for he hath stolen a pax, and hanged must be, damned at death for pax of little price. Therefore, Go speak. The Duke will hear thy voice. Speak, Captain, for his life, and I will be requite.
Ancient pistol, I do partly understand your meaning.
Well, then rejoice, therefore.
It's not a thing to rejoice at. For if, look you, he were my own brother, I would desire the Duke to use his good pleasure and put him to execution, for discipline ought to be used.
Die and be damned, and fico for thy friendship.
How now, Fluellen? Camest thou from the bridge?
Aye, so please your majesty, the Duke of Exeter hath very gallantly maintained the bridge.
What men have you lost, Fluellen?
I think the Duke hath lost never a man, save one that's like to be executed for robbing a church. One Bardolph, if your majesty know the man.
God, save thy grace. King Hal, my royal Hal, my Jove, my king, I speak to thee, my heart.
Presume not I am the thing I once was. I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers.
What? Help! Help!
We would have all such offenders so cut off, and we give express charge that in our marches through the country that nothing be compelled from the villages, nothing taken but paid for, and none of the French upbraided or abused in disdainful language. For when cruelty and leniency play for a kingdom, the gentler gamester is the soonest winner.
Your Majesty, King Henry, thus says my king. Though we seemed dead, we did but sleep. Tell him we could have rebuked him at Harfleur. Now we speak, and our voice is imperial. England shall repent his folly. Bid him, therefore, consider of his ransom, which must proportion the losses we have borne. Tell him, for conclusion, he hath betrayed his followers, whose condemnation is pronounced. So far my king and master, so much my office.
What is thy name?
Montjoy.
Thou dost thy office fairly. Go tell the king I do not seek him now, but could be well content without impeachment to march on Calais. Go tell thy master that here I am. So, Montjoy, fare you well. The sum of all of our answer is but this: we would not seek a battle as we are. Nor as we are, we say, we shall not shun it. So tell your master.
Shall deliver so. Thanks to your Majesty.
We are in God's hand now, brother, not in theirs.
Now, entertain conjecture of a time when creeping murmur and the pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp, through the foul womb of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds that the fixed sentinels almost receive the secret whispers of each other's watch. Fire answers fire, and through their paly flames each battle sees the other's umbered face. Proud of their numbers and secure in soul, the confident and overlusty French do the low-rated English play at dice. The poor condemned English, like sacrifices by their watchful fire, sit patiently and inly ruminate their morning's danger. Oh, now who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band? Let him cry praise and glory upon his head, for forth he goes and visits all his host, calls them brothers, friends, and countrymen. A largesse, universal, like the sun, his liberal eye doth give to every one thawing cold fear, as may unworthiness define a little touch of Harry in the night.
King Henry.
Tomorrow, old Sir Thomas Erpingham. A good white pillow for that good soft head were better than this churlish turf of France.
Not so, my liege. This lodging likes me better.
Lend me thy cloak, Sir Thomas. Commend me to the princes in this camp. Do my good morrow to them, and anon desire them all my pavilion.
I shall, my liege. Shall I attend, your grace?
No, good my knight. I and my bosom must debate a while, and then I would no other company.
The Lord in heaven bless thee, noble Harry.
Che voulas.
Oh, what?
Discuss unto me. Art thou officer, or art thou base, common, and popular?
I'm a gentleman of a company. What are you?
As good a gentleman as the emperor.
Then you are better than the king.
Ah, the king. The king is a ballcock with a heart of gold, an imp of fame, a fist most valiant. I kiss his bloody shoe. I love the lovely bully. What is thy name?
Harry Leroy.
Oh, a Cornish name.
No, I'm a Welshman.
Huh. Knowest thou Llewellyn?
Aye.
Art thou his friend?
Aye, and his kinsman too.
The fico for thee then. My name is Pistol Called.
It sorts well with your fierceness.
Yonder the beginning of the day, but I think we shall ne'er see the end of it. Who goes there?
A friend.
Under what commander serve you?
Under Sir Thomas Erpingham.
Oh, a good old commander and a most kind gentleman. I pray you, what thinks he of our estate?
Even as men wrecked upon the sand that look to be washed off in the next tide.
He hath not told the king?
No.
Us to talk to the king?
No, nor is it meet he should. I think the king is but a man as I am. He sees reason of his fears out of doubt be of the same relish as ours are.
He may show what outward fear he might, but I believe as cold a night as 'tis, he could wish himself up to the Thames, up to the neck. And so I would he were, and I by him.
I think he would not wish himself anywhere but where he is.
Then I would he were here alone.
Methinks I could not die anywhere so contented as in the king's company, his cause being just and his quarrel honorable.
That's more than we know.
Aye, or more than we should seek after. For we know enough if we are the king's subjects. If his cause be wrong, our obedience to the king wipes the crime of it out of us.
But if the cause be not good, the king himself hath a heavy reckoning to make. When all those legs and arms and heads chopped off in battle shall join together in the latter day and cry all, we died in such a place, some swearing, some crying for a surgeon, some upon their wives left poor behind them. I'm afeard that their few die well that die in a battle. Now, if these men do not die well, it will be a black matter for the king that led them to it.
Every man's service is the king's, but every man's soul is his own.
Certain. Every man that dies ill, the ill upon his own head. The king is not to answer for it.
But I do not desire that he should answer for me. And yet I decide to fight mightily for him.
I myself heard the king say he would not be ransomed.
He said to make us fight.
Uh,
But when our throats are cut, he may be ransomed, and we never wiser.
If I live to see it, I'll never trust his word again.
You're an ass. Go.
I should be angry with you if the time were convenient.
Well, let it be a quarrel between us if you live.
I embrace it.
Be friends, you English fools. Be friends. We have French quarrels enow.
O God of battles, steel my soldiers' hearts. Possess them not with fear. Take from them the sense of reckoning if the opposed soldiers pluck their hearts from them. Not today. Not today, O Lord. Think not upon the fault my father made encompassing the crown. I, Richard's body, have interred anew, and have bestowed more contrite tears than from it issued forced drops of blood. More will I do, so that all I can do is nothing worth, since my penitence comes, after all, imploring pardon.
My liege.
I know thy errand, and will go with thee. The day, my friends, and all things stay for me.
Of fighting men, they have full 70,000.
There's 5 to 1. Besides, they are all fresh.
'Tis a fearful odds.
Oh, that we now had but 1/10,000 of those men in England that do no work today. Oh, my king.
What's he that wishes so? My cousin York? No, fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss, and if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. Rather proclaim it through our camp that he that hath not stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made. We would not die in that man's company that fears his presence to fight with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand at tiptoe when the day is named and rouse him at the name of Crispian. He that lives this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbor and say, tomorrow is Saint Crispian. Then will he strip his sleeves and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on Crispin. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantage what feats he did that day. Then will our names familiar in his mouth as household words. Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispian shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he that sheds his blood with me today shall be my brother. Be he ne'er so vile that today shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed will think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whiles any speak that fought upon St. Crispin's day.
My sovereign lord, the French are in the field.
All things are ready, if our minds be so.
Perish the man whose mind is backwards now.
Thou dost not wish more help from England, cuz.
God's will, my liege. Could you and I alone fight this royal battle?
You know your places. God be with you all.
My lord, most humbly on my knee, I beg the leading of the vanguard.
Take it, brave York. Now, soldiers, march away, and as thou pleasest God, dispose this day!
And so, our scene must to the battle fly, the name of Agincourt.
Well have we done, my thrice valiant countrymen, but all's not done, yet the French the field. And what of York?
The Duke of York commends him to your majesty.
Lives he, good uncle? Thrice within this hour I saw him down, thrice up again in fighting, from helmet to spur all blood he was.
In which array, brave soldier, doth he lie? He smiled at me, brought me in the hand, and with a feeble grip says, "Dear my lord, commend me to my sovereign."
Young boys, whose job it is to tend the luggage of the English soldiers from well behind the lines of battle, are cornered by French soldiers and killed. Enter Fluellen and Gower, followed by English soldiers.
Killed. The poise and the luggage. Now 'tis expressly against the law of arms. 'Tis as arrant a piece of knavery, mark you now, as can be offered in your conscience, is it not?
'Tis certain. There's not a boy left alive.
I was not angry since I came to France until this instant. Take a trumpet, Gower. Ride to the horsemen on yon hill. If they will fight us, bid them come down or void the field. They do offend our sight. If they do neither, we'll come to them. We'll cut the throats of those we have, and not a man among them we have shall taste our mercy.
The French have reinforced their scattered men.
Then every soldier kill his prisoners. Give the word through.
Aye.
The herald of the French, my liege.
How now? What means this herald? Comest thou again for ransom?
I come to thee for charitable favor, that we may wander o'er this bloody field to look our dead, and then to bury them.
I tell thee truly, herald, I know not if the day is ours or no.
The day is yours.
And God be praised, and not our strength for it. What is this castle that stands hard by?
They call it Agincourt.
Then we will call this the field of Agincourt, fought upon the day of Crispianus. Uncle, go with her. Bring me just notice of the numbers dead on both our parts.
Your Majesty,
Llewellyn.
your grandfather, of famous memory, and your great uncle Edward, the Black Prince of Wales, I have read in the chronicles, they fought a most brave battle here in France.
They did, Llewellyn.
If your Majesty's is remembered of it. The Welshmen did good service that day.
Well, I well remember, for I am Welsh, as you know, good my countrymen.
God bless and preserve your Majesty. I am your Majesty's countryman. I care not who know it, so long as your Majesty is an honorable man.
God keep me so. Now, uncle, are the dead numbered?
Here is the number of the slaughtered French.
This note doth tell me of 10,000 French that in the field lay slain, of the which 500 were but yesterday dubbed knight. Here was a royal fellowship of death. Where is the number of our English dead? Edward, the Duke of York, the Earl of Suffolk, Sir Richard Keepley, Davy Gam, Esquire. None else of name, and of all other men but 25.
'Tis wonderful.
Come, go we in procession to the village, and be it death proclaimed through our host to boast of this, or to take the praise from God, which is his only.
Is it not lawful, and please your Majesty, to tell how many is killed?
Yes, Captain, but with this acknowledgement, that God fought for us.
Yes, my conscience, he did us great good.
Let there be sung non nobis and Te Deum. The dead with charity enclosed in clay. And then to Calais in England then, where ne'er from France arrived more happy men.
Bring me my bow of burning gold. Bring me my arrows of desire.
Bring me my spear. Oh, clouds unfold.
Bring me my chariot of fire.
I will not cease from mental fight.
Nor shall my sword rest in my hand
Till we have built Jerusalem
In England's green and pleasant land.
Now, behold how London doth pour out her citizens. The mayor and all his brethren in best sort, like to the senators of the antique Rome, go forth and fetch their conquering Caesar in. How many would the peaceful city quit to welcome him? Much more, and much more cause did they this harry.
Peace to this meeting and our brother France. Joy and good wishes to our most fair and princely cousin, Catherine.
Right joyous are we to behold your face, most worthy brother, England. Let it not disgrace me if I demand why that the naked, poor, and mangled peace should not in this best garden of the world, our fertile France, put up her lovely visage. What rub or bar has thus far hindered you to keep you from the gentle speech of peace?
If you would the peace, you must buy that peace, according as we have drawn in our articles.
I have but with a cursory eye or glanced the articles. Pleaseth your grace to let some of your counsel sit with us. We shall return with our peremptory answer.
Brother, we shall. Uncle of Exeter, go with the king. Yet, leave our cousin Catherine here with us.
With all our hearts.
Fair Catherine, and most fair, um, will you vouchsafe to teach a soldier terms such as will enter into a lady's ear and plead his love suit to her gentle heart?
Your Majesty shall mock at me. I cannot speak your England.
Oh, fair Catherine, if you will love me soundly with your French heart, I'll be as glad to hear you confess it brokenly with your English tongue. You like me, Kate?
Pardonnez-moi, I cannot tell what is like me.
An angel is like you, Kate, and you are like an angel.
Que dit-il que je suis semblable à les anges?
Oui, vraiment, sur votre grâce, ainsi dit-il.
Dieu, les langues des hommes sont pleines de tromperies.
What says she, fair one? That the tongues of men are full of deceits?
Oui, that the tongues of the men be full of deceits. That is the princess.
If I could win a lady at leapfrog or by vaulting into my saddle with full armor on my back, I should quickly leap into a wife. But before God, Kate, I cannot look greenly, nor gasp out my eloquence. I speak to thee, plain soldier. Take me, take a soldier. Take a soldier, take a king. And what sayest thou to my love? Speak, my fair, and fairly, I pray thee.
Is it possible that I should love the enemy of France?
No, Kate, it's not possible that you should love the enemy of France. For Kate, I love France so well that I will not part with a village of it. Therefore, when France is mine and I am yours, then yours is France, and you are mine.
I cannot tell. What is that?
I will tell thee in French, which I'm sure will hang upon my tongue like a new married bride on her husband's neck. Je compte la possession de France. Vous avez la possession de moi. Faith, it were as easy for me to reconquer the kingdom as it were to speak that much French again. I'll never move you in French but to laugh at me.
Sans votre honneur, le français que vous parlez est mieux que l'anglais lequel je parle.
No, it's not. Faith, not I, Kate. But Kate, tell me, in plain terms, do you love me?
Cannot tell.
Can any of your neighbors tell, Kate? I'll ask them. Now, by mine honor, in true English, I love thee, Kate. Now, beshrew my father's ambition. He was thinking of civil wars when he got me, that I was created with a stubborn outside and an aspect of iron, that when I come to woo ladies, I fright them. But my comfort is, the better I wax, the better I shall appear. Thou hast me, if thou hast me, and thou shalt wear me, if thou wear me, better and better. And therefore, most fair Catherine, will you have me? Come, your answer in broken music, for thy voice is music. Catherine, wilt thou have me?
That is as please my father.
Nay, it shall please him well, Kate. It'll please him, Kate.
Then it shall also content me.
Upon that, I kiss your hand and call you my queen.
Oh, les dames et demoiselles pour être baisées devant les noces, il n'est pas la coutume de France.
Madame, my interpreter, what says she?
That it is not the fashion in France for the maids before they be married to. I cannot tell what is baiser in English.
Oh, to kiss, to kiss. Oh, it's
It's not the fashion for maids to kiss before they are married.
married. Oh, Kate, nice customs curtsy to great kings. You and I cannot be confined by custom. We are the makers of manners, Kate, and therefore patiently and yielding. There is witchcraft in your lips, Kate, and you may persuade with me more than all of the French council. Your father is returned.
We have consented to all terms of reason.
Thereupon, give me your daughter.
Take her, fair son, and from her blood raise up issue to me that the contending kingdoms of France and England, whose very shores look pale with envy of each other's happiness, may cease their hatred.
God, the best maker of marriages, combine these hearts in one, these realms in one, as man and wife, being two, are one in love, that English may as French Englishmen receive each other. God, speak this Amen.
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 Small time. But in that small, most greatly lived this star of England. Fortune made his sword, by which the world's best garden he achieved. Small time. Henry VI, in infant bands crowned King of France and England, did this king succeed, whose state so many had the managing that they lost France and made his England bleed. Hey everybody, thanks for watching us tonight and listening to us. I'm Joey Collins.
Michael David Gordon. Hey, take care, folks.
And I am Alex Spieth. Thank you so much.
I'm Sam Metzger. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Sam Day Harmit. Thanks, guys.
Peace.